hills and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance to spit in his eye. Well, they gave me bars, but I can see between to a dusty yard and long gone green. They call that freedom, if you know what I mean. And I drown my sorrows, but the whiskey's gone. I'm sober as good.
Shortbangers, I'm Matty. This is episode 66, joined tonight by Craig, Colin, and Brian. Craig, how you doing?
Very well, mate. Thank you. Yourself?
Aye, good. Long time no see.
I've just been busy with the work and all that, and with the kids and all that sort of stuff. But settled down now, so hopefully, well, I'm saying hopefully for my own benefit, make more appearance on here. Not saying that anybody else wants to listen to us or that, but
You should see the bad mail we get for you, mate. There's literally some. one or two bits. Brian, what about you? How you doing?
Not bad. I'm all right. You?
Aye,
an A-lister.
Aye.
Hobnobbing with the celebrities and all that jazz.
Standard, eh? It's like their autographs and stuff like that now. I say their autographs. Graffiti.
Just practicing.
Aye, graffiti. I think if it counts. And it's a big booby that I've been doing. It's no my own name. So, okay. And then Colin, how you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Doug's whimpering in the background there. The daughter's nicked my headphones, so I'm doing this on the computer audio today. So if it's shite, I can only apologise. The dog's going to need to shut up though.
Peanut butter, Matthew. Peanut butter. Works every time.
Try that. Right. Let's get half an hour on the clock. Get the episode underway. First question comes from Curvy Nisbet's adopted dad. He says, asking for a mate at work. Would you rather shag your dad and nobody knew about it, or your mum and everybody knew? He says his mate's not well in the head, but it might mean a new listener, so there you go.
Fucking hell. Well, wait to start.
Aye, there you go. Craig, you want to take that one first?
not really. I think you'd have to. I don't think. I mean, both are shite options, really, aren't they? They're no.
I'm thinking if you're doing incest, you're doing it in the quiet.
100%. You don't want people to know about it. That's what I'm thinking. But you know, I'd begrudgingly say my dad, but.
Brian, how are you?
Why did I come back? I think my mother's probably got a more impressive moustache than my dad. So
before you start answering, Brian, what's your mum's name and your dad's name?
They're both called Michael. My dad, on just purely on the count that he's got less of a moustache than my mother. That's it.
Colin?
It's I'm going with the keeping it quiet one. So that was the my dad.
Aye, I think that is because you don't have to worry about looking yourself in the eye when you look in the mirror.
And your dad.
And at the time.
That's it. But outside of that, you can go about your business. The other way around, you're going with your head doing all the time and also not able to look in the mirror. So
yeah. So is that a consensus? Is that all four unanimous?
I'd be worried about the person that posed that question.
Aye, that's the worry. That's the and do we want that kind of person as a listener? That's the
question. Now that there's a live show, they could even turn up in person.
This is a point.
Have we thought about the people that we're inviting onto the same room together?
We're not inviting anybody. They're
inviting themselves.
They're inviting themselves, buying tickets.
Well, yeah, fair point, but you know,
my fucking Tom Cruise isn't saying, "Come on round and see my film."
Tom Fairney's there though.
Aye.
So.
Lucky.
I'm going to be watching very closely if you two are looking at each other in the
Right, second question for Kirby Nisbet's adopted dash is: you ever wonder if, when in the films there's a mad chase through the streets of New York, the lead character ends up staggering back and forth trying to dodge cars, gets hit by one, apologises after generally causing havoc, he's burst his leg open, and now has to limp away from the chaser, leaving them with less options for getaway strategies, not to mention the lives he's ruined for the people now in those traffic jams. You ever wondered if it would have been easier just to wait on the green man? Well, probably would be, eh?
Aye, but he would have got caught though, eh? Is that not the point?
I don't understand why they go for the road. Like, I've never been to New York, so I can't really comment on the layout of it and that. But if I'm getting chased by somebody, my first thought isn't dart in front of like a busy road. It would be run as fast as I can on the pavement and maybe get into
There might be a fair bit of pedestrian footfall, and the road's your better option. Possibly.
Well, I mean, even with the amount of pedestrians, like, you can kind of weave yourself in and out and hide yourself. I mean, maybe not me with my fucking massive head or whatever, but I'd be able to get picked out anywhere. But I don't know. It just seems like over dramatized, like just pushing it.
I was about to say something. In fact, I'm not going to say it. No.
You can't not say it now.
Oh, trust me. That show in 2 weeks' time will get cancelled if I came out with what's in my head. I'll tell you off camera.
Stick it in the WhatsApp. What's the best film chase you've seen? Or the one, like, the most ludicrous one?
Happy Gilmore. Guy coming over the big giant guy coming over the field.
Right.
That's the worst. I'm not even sure if he was chasing the guy, was he? Or was he just storming over the fucking 18th?
I kind of the folk always end up invincible, eh? Like, we've had this conversation with 24 before, and like the hero gets fucking all sorts done to them and then just brushes it off. Fuck you, like this. Folk getting knocked down, and now he gets killed by a car and everything, and just bash on with their day. And by the end of the film, it's like it's never even happened. It's not even like they would roll it back and say, "Fucking hell, guess what happened to me? Got hit by a car."
Yep.
And all the rest of it, they just bash on. And like we had Leon on Quick Bang on Saturday. Leon has been on a few times. He'd saved a kid for a dog, and first thing he did was tell everybody it was like a significant event. The duck never even broke the skin. He said, "Do you know?" So that's, I think.
Oh, I never even broke his skin.
The dog, the Alsatian, nah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I shouldn't have
fucking
told
do it,
anybody
man.
then. Useless.
A wee bit, maybe.
Useless. No, I'm only kidding.
Maybe downplaying the event here. His arm is hanging off. But can you come on and tell folk about it? That's what normal folk would do. But these guys would get, like Bruce Willis at Die Hard. He's got on his day at the end of it. It wasn't like he was going, "Fuck me, guess what's just happened?" On the news, never can't wait for all the reporters and the attention and that. Just battered on.
Aye, even the car crashes, even the cars get smashed up after a ridiculous chase, and then the boy just gets out. Everybody else in the car's dead, and I'll get out and just carry on the chase. It's just I get so made up. That's the thing. It's not real life.
There's a good point there about the collateral damage. Was saying that the folk that were stuck in the traffic jam after it. How fucking raging would you be?
No, as raging as Michael Douglas and falling down.
He was pretty angry. There was the protesters on, was that M25 or something the other day?
Yeah, this week.
The road and just stood there.
It's been a week, I think. Done it 4 or 5 times.
Still going on?
No.
I
Had to get court orders out in that to say they could get, well, I don't know, bigger fines or punishments today because we've got to start again.
So on the first day when they did it, the kind of was about a minute in, if that, and there was a van just went, "Fuck that," just went on the grass and drove past them.
Class.
Right. Amazingly, Merfolk didn't follow their lead. There was a question that came up. We were talking about work, talking about traffic jams and that, right? Have you ever thought about how many accidents or that you might have been indirectly responsible for? Kind of like if you let somebody out ahead of you, and then later on that person could go and have a fucking crash. That if you hadn't let them out, it would never have happened.
Somebody that drives the length of the country, pretty much. I say the length of the country. Anything north of like Edinburgh or Glasgow doesn't count as the country because they're all fucking chukters. But someone who drives and sees like multiple crashes and multiple, I'm of the firm belief that if you get yourself into a car accident, especially on say a motorway and that, there's obviously some cases where it's not their fault, but the majority of people, if you are in a car crash, you are a fucking idiot. Like, you know what I mean? Like the majority of the time, you know, whoever has been in the
You
crash
just
has
jinx yourself when you
like
was driving.
It was coming.
but hear me out. Like if somebody's maybe had a heart attack at the wheel or something like that, that's not their fault. Like, you know what I mean? If something's ran out onto the road and it's caused them to come out, it's not. But the majority of people that crash their cars are people that are either on their phones or have had a drink or aren't they paying a fucking tension and
Driving too close.
can't drive in a straight line or driving too close and all that. So to think that you would inadvertently cause a crash, I believe that's bullshit. If somebody's going to crash, it's fucking their fault. And on the flip side of it, if they have a crash and it could have been you rather than them, sort of thing, that's literally just because there's been, you know, like as I say, like like something's came out in the road or something like that, and you can't help that. That's not your fucking fault.
Well, we had one. We were going. So there's a big roundabout as you come out of Dunfermline at the Sky Building, and they've just put traffic lights on it. And there was about 2 or 3 weeks, probably longer than that, where the traffic lights were up but no on, and it caused chaos for folk getting fucking confused. And we were coming out of Dunfermline to go down to Rosyth, but there's a woman coming round, and she stopped and held up just for a split second. She wasn't sure if she should go right round the roundabout because lights weren't on. So I've always had to wait because she's going right away. And then she went, and that wee split second when I went, I came onto the roundabout, and just as I'm coming on, as a van came at fucking ridiculous speed onto the roundabout that would have wiped me out because they danger he was stopping. They would have wiped my car out if that woman had to fanny the boot. So it was one of those moments that, like, I wouldn't have been my fault, it would have been the van's fault. But it was that woman's like fucking indecision that stopped my car getting a proper Syrian.
Do you have
women are bad drivers, or was that not what you were you getting at that there? That
no, not in general,
No.
just that one.
just so happened to be a woman that time.
Aye.
do you ever have like I don't know if it's because I spend quite a lot of my time in the car, but I have like set go-to like insults and that to people in the motor or thoughts. Like, so if I get caught up in the traffic, say in the M6, it's normally the M6 around about Manchester, somebody's fucking writ their motor off. Don't know what it is about around there, but they kind of fucking drive. But like if I'm really angry that I'm in the car, I'm like, somebody better be fucking dead here. Like it better be worth it. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want some like a tires popped or that. Like, you know what I mean? If I'm waiting for hours, somebody better be dead. And then my other one is like, you know, if you get like your typical like old Sunday driver comes out, like, you know, and I'm getting really angry at them, and my wife hates it. She's like, calm down, like, you know, they're old and that, and like, because where I live, there's like a kind of B road all the way out there, like, you know, it's 60 mile an hour to get there, and I understand on a corner and that you go down to maybe 40 and that, you know, be safe, but it's 60, it's not 30, like, you know what I mean? And I come out with stuff like, you know, my go-to is like, I fucking hope it's a cold winter, like, you know what I mean? With the hope that they might not survive. Like, just wondering if any of you have got like a kind of go-to in the car, or is it just me?
Just you, I think, mate.
It sounds like you've got some kind of problem there.
I was thinking, dickhead, Joe, like shoot that, or
mine's just fuck's sake, just a general fuck's sake, rather than a specific I hope you die sort of still.
Brian, you didn't drive, did you? Did you pass?
No, my go-to is normally I shouldn't be behind the wheel. I don't have the paperwork for this.
What's that boy shouting at me for? Robert Neverson, his question was, are Hearts still top of the league morally? Who did they draw with last? Ross County?
Yeah.
I'm not getting
what's the current league standings? I'll flash them up.
I think they
Rangers are top with 13. I think Hibs and Hearts are on 12.
And Motherwell after that.
Yeah.
Aye. Right, they're probably looking it up, Craig. Fuck them. Fat as Pricker says, would the world be a better place if instead of going toot, your car horn recorded a load of your expletives while driving and shouted them out randomly when you pressed the horn?
Only if it recorded Craig's ones.
That's what I'm about to say.
We'll hand this over to our resident car expert, Craig Toggle.
Craig's car gets a banning order. It's not allowed out after like 7 o'clock at night.
What if you're just saying hello to somebody though? Did it? And it just gives it the fucking. I hope it's a cold winter, you old cunt. It did.
Just
Waving at them like,
you think you know.
oh shit, sorry. Oh, dear.
I always thought that it would be a good thing for the kind of safety announcements at the stadium if you were changing the noise for things, because it's that kind of big beep.
Aye.
If they just made like a booing noise or a cheer like the crowd. If you hear this noise, fucking panic. Boo! Or a referee's whistle. Robert Glenn says that when you unwrap a cheese slice, is there a word for the wee bit left that always sticks to the sodden wrapper? That's a design flaw in those things.
It is a design flaw, that's right.
I reckon if there's a name for the bit of cheese, though. Got Jeff. Right, Soze47062 said, what would be more nippy? 30 fingers on each hand, and your hand remains the same size as it is now, or a hairy tongue?
It would have to be the hairy tongue, I don't know. Because so I think it would just go on like it must be just like 6 sets of that together at the same
You think like in line?
in parallel or whatever. Aye, yeah.
No,
Or kind of like a sphere.
Aye, Brian, when you look at your hands, how did you see it happening?
I don't know.
Many fingers you see now, Brian. Is that many?
I think it's my cock's small enough for 5 fingers on a hand. That would fucking kill me.
Imagine how long it would take you to put a pair of gloves on.
How many fucking pairs of gloves? 6 pairs of gloves.
Oh, only one pair of gloves. They just have to redesign it.
Or you would just buy 6. Well, but you should need to get somebody to redesign a pair of gloves because you've got.
Aye, because if you had 6
Six
pair of
sets of
gloves, you've
fingers.
got all the wrists, like they're all just hanging. So you
Aye.
would
But your fingers would be
come
covered.
around your wrist, and then a finger for each of your fingers.
A pokey bum wank would never be boring.
Yeah. You can imagine.
Is it ever? 30 fingers on the hot.
I can't see
I
what
guess so.
advantages a hairy tongue would have.
No, I mean, there's not. Must even just have one fucking hair in your tongue. Imagine having. No.
Christ, you can
can
drink
see
a
the
can of
Velcro.
full fat Coke and have a hairy tongue.
Aye. Right. We're going with the fingers then. Right. MJ Plastering in Thailand was Robbie Nielsen, Frank Gallagher, and Shameless. He's watched Shameless.
No, but I know who he is. I never watched that. I know he's the main character, with the long hair and that.
Yeah.
Aye, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think he's Frank Gallagher, but he's fucking something, that's for sure. It's just oh fuck. I don't know. What's going on with his hair?
I don't think even he knows.
I think it's one of them that once you get to a certain age and your hair's starting to thin out, but it still grows. But he's trying to cover up like his bald patches and his receding line and that. Instead of just sort of manning up like Brian has and I have and just saying fucking it's coming off. He's trying to cover it with fucking a mane. Every time I think we speak about this recently. If when he goes to the hairdressers, that he'll have baldy pat and the hairdresser's probably gone,
Aye.
he's all shaving this off, mate.
Aye. It's
Nice to hear
it's
each time.
more the texture. It's I mean that is washed in a deep fat fryer. What is the shampoo we're using here?
He obviously modelled it on Presley, mind the two of them when they were coming through.
Aye.
Presley, but Presley's looks like a proper long hair. He's too old for it now, and that like he should be.
I
coming back
actually,
and
I bumped
when he
into
had-
Presley, believe it or not, in Silverburn.
Did he fall
About-
down?
Throw his out of the ground.
About 2-3 weeks ago, and when you see him in person, his hair in that, he's actually got like a full proper head of hair. But Nielsen's one, like, I shouldn't be one to comment on this because I'm lucky enough to have like a full mop. But like, I remember growing up as a kid and seeing people like, with your mates and that, and you see people that are bald and their hair's proper thin and out. Like, it's the first thing anybody comments on, and it's like, he needs that fucking shaved.
Aye.
Like, So what I want to know is like people that are. I don't know if it's I wouldn't even know if it's unfortunate enough. Like, if I had to go bald, I had to go bald. That's just my personal view. But people that have had to do that, do they look at those people and be like, oh, they have to shave it, and then they get to the point, and then it's like, oh no, that's me, or is there just a complete, oh, I'm going to ignore it?
Aye, self-awareness.
Aye, yeah, because like surely that, and I would imagine in a football environment, like where you're getting pelters all the time, you've got to think that it's got to go away.
I blame Paul McGibbon for this.
Oh, that's probably where you were talking about it for the other podcast.
Oh, that would be, because I mentioned that after the Dundee game.
Aye.
I mentioned
blame
Martin
him.
Boyle when Martin Boyle was on.
Well, right enough. Boyle sorted his out, though, eh?
I mean, he was defending his mate as well, McGowan.
Aye. Right enough.
So we didn't get as many laughs out as I hoped.
His is rotten, though, isn't it?
So
Can he defend that?
No.
Oh, did you see there was a photo of Brandon Barker at Rangers with a game?
Oh, aye.
Oh,
Like
it was-
wispy sort of.
It was like it had gone full Charlton.
Archie McPherson.
Like that's the Scar advert. The
Aye.
boy mind, the boy at Ibsen Nisbet.
Aye.
There's no excuse for it, because like I know a boy that's going through the hair treatment at the moment, and it looks horrendous. I mean, I'll send you he sent us a picture of like the actual treatment that he got the day after it happened, and it looks horrific. But I see some people that like hold on to it, and they're like, oh, especially footballers and that, and they're like, oh, I'm going to get it sorted later. If you're going to get it sorted later, you may as well just lop it all off now, so that you don't have that opportunity of like a Brandon Parker style photograph. Like, you know what I mean? Just get rid of it.
Aye.
Get it. If you've got the money to sort it and you're going to do it, get rid of it.
So that's us Vidal Sassoon anyway. Right, 150k on Hamlin Hill says, can you class yourself as a fanny magnet if you've had two Irish fellas in a white van offer you a knockoff telly in B&Q car park? I think that's the definition, isn't it? That's pretty much when you know that you are.
Shagger.
What's the most outrageously stolen goods you've been offered before? In a car park or otherwise?
I don't know if it's outrageous, but like obviously stayed. Like I originate from the Nidri area of the city that people have probably heard, and used to get folk chapping the door, just straight for the photo or whatever.
Aye.
Just bought this, but then they got more sophisticated though, and it was like, do you need anything? And then they would just go up and steal the order rather than just steal the chat the door. They would say, I get you a pair of jeans and a top. And they would go, what kind, colour,
Size.
get them. Not I've ever done it, but I believe that's what they used to do.
What were you, Craig?
To be honest, I've never really been offered. I think back in the day, I think the only things that I ever used to get offered was like at school and that, and it was like knockoff Rockports or Merry Peaks or that, and it was one of the kind of the Ned's brothers of that's managed to get a hold of a load of them, like, you know what I mean, and be able to give you some decent gear on the cheap. But nah, I've never really been in that situation.
I'm frightened to ask you, Brian, but I'm going
to. Ham. I think packets
Like
of
a
ham.
big packets of ham. All right, I thought you were going to mean like a big roast, like a. Wasn't even a
No, just
packets of ham.
that's the weirdest I can think of. It's in the pub.
Were you sure that? Were you sure it wasn't like a meat raffle or that, and you were just pissed?
Well, it could. Well, it was like a fucking not a Safeway carrier bag, but it was like an Asda bag. I just assumed he'd showed it for Asda. He might have just fucking
Stole the bag.
Are meat raffles no a chore anyway? I know the whole thing with them. Wrong if I misunderstood the situation there. I always thought meat raffle was short meat that folk just chipped in and might be able to win in the pub.
I'm the same with taking stuff out of your charity shop. That's no shoplifting. It's not theirs.
I'm
Did
not
you
a
just have
fan
this
of stuff
debate
at the
before about that?
charity shop. People buy like shoes and that at a charity shop. It's like old dead woman's shoes. Nah,
Not
gives me the
before
fear.
it, Craig.
Gives me
Would
the
you know-
fear that.
You wouldn't wear them because they're for a dead woman or because they're for a woman? What's the what are you saying?
We're not talking
No
about
way would I
driving
wear
here.
women's shoes.
And they
Definitely
wouldn't
not.
lie.
for
They're
dead.
not driving shoes, Colin. They're not driving.
Could get out the gloves here though. Get out the extra for their hands, for their fingers.
I made a couple of guys were
A post-winter trip to the charity shop.
Sharon Torabella.
Oh, it was a cold winter. Charity shop's going to be busting my goodies.
Shoes, big shoes. Fucking got him with bags of shoes. Driving gloves.
Oh dear.
Dorlisa said, should professional footballers who can't kick with both feet have their wages halved?
No, it's fucking ridiculous. A stupid question. Block them.
It probably depends on how much they're getting paid in the first place and how much they bring with that 1 foot.
Totally agree with Colin. Block them.
It's stupid. I mean, like, I understand that, like, they're professional and you would expect them to be able to operate with both feet as such, but if
There's no way they can't though. There's no way they can't. Right? There's no
Look at
way that they
Maradona.
can't. They just don't.
no,
want
no,
to.
but, yeah, but like, what I mean is like, they're always going to be better with 1 footy, and if you're wanting the player to excel and be as good as they possibly can be, they're going to be training and practicing with a better foot, in my eyes, anyway. You would want them to be able to use the other one, but nah, man. Like,
Who was it that I read about, or I heard them talking about on Sky Sports recently? It was know who it was? It was the boy Chelsea signed, Lukaku, and he got one of his managers was like listing all his weaknesses or what he could do better, and what he took for that was, "Come on, I'm really fucking good at banging into folk, right-footed stuff, and fucking winning headers and that. I'm just going to get even better at that." Rather than fucking worry about that shit I'm not good at. I'm just going to be even better, the best at that.
that's
Fuck all that stuff.
See that's a good point, because they were talking about with the what do you call it, with the St Mirren goal the other week. They were talking about Ryan Porteous showing the player onto the side that he's more favoured on and all that.
Aye.
And I'm not saying that, obviously I can't remember the boy's name, but I'm not saying that he's one of the best players in the world, but the best players in the world, especially like strikers or poachers or that, like, it doesn't matter if the defender knows everything about you and shows you onto the wrong side. The best players in the world get themselves onto the side that they're good at, and they put the ball in the net anyway. Like, you know what I mean? So, nah.
It was even Brophy.
He's not one of the best players in the world. Like,
No, that's what I mean. Like there's not. But what I mean is like anybody that's decent. Like, you know what I mean? If you're good with the right foot and shite with the left, you'll find a way with the right foot. Doesn't matter what situation you're in.
because actually Carragher and Neville were having that debate, not this exact debate, but a very similar one about Messi Ronaldo the other week, because Ronaldo scored 2 goals in his first game for Man United, so Neville was like best player ever. And Carragher was still arguing for Messi. And one of Neville's arguments was Ronaldo, they've scored about identical amounts of goals. It's incredible how similar their stats are, right? But he scored with his head and his right foot as well as his left foot. And Carragher went, so fucking what? Doesn't matter. Like,
It's in the net, innit?
he still scored more than him. Again, it was like 10 more. You know what I mean? It's no masses more, but he scored more. I don't care where he kicks it with. I care if it's his left foot or his right foot, his head. So it's half. Imagine trying to say that to them. Like Lewis Stevenson, you didn't really touch the ball with your right foot, so we're going to half your wage.
Wages.
It's like, what you say to you, I've not seen you writing with your left hand. No, that's just for wanking.
Aye.
Fuck's sake.
Lie on it. Right, Fattest Pricky says, do Fairy Liquid really need to advertise their product? It's pretty well established now. Apart from Fairy Liquid, is there another product which with a totally pointless advert?
I don't watch adverts anymore, you know that. I just, like, since Sky Plus came in, gave me just record everything I'm going to watch, or even see if I'm going to watch something live. It starts at 9. I'll just start watching it at 9:15 and just gives me 15 minutes to whiz through the adverts.
Yeah.
Aye.
They used to get good adverts though. They kind of adverts have the same thought, but it used to be kind of back in the day. There'd be adverts that you still remember now.
The old
Because
Benton and
Because
Hedges.
with 4 channels,
Aye.
there's fuck all else today. Like, because now you've got that many channels to choose for. When an advert comes on, you just turn it over.
So what are
When Hutchison,
what things are points
Robertson, Stepic,
that are established?
Big brands, really, yeah. Big brands are just chucking money at it. Like,
Some says toilet roll because like fucking everybody's got to buy toilet roll anyway.
aye, but the brands within it are looking for their own purchase, aren't they?
Aye,
It's no
but there's
pointless because
no
they're
that
saying,
many, is there toilet roll brands in like in the supermarkets? Only a couple.
so there's still competition. You know what I mean? But if you look at, I don't know, McDonald's v Burger King, there's hundreds more McDonald's than there are burgers, so they don't really need to advertise McDonald's anymore because if somebody's going out for a takeaway, they're going to go there.
Aye.
The UK should adopt like the American style advertising where you're allowed to slag the opposition. Whereas over here, like, you know, if it's safe or it's like, I don't know, like Ariel for like washing your clothes or that, it'll be like Ariel versus nondescript brand. Like, you know, Ariel washes 90% more,
Versus the
five times
competition.
five
Aye.
times versus competition. It should be like, you know, Ariel versus Bold. Bold are shite. And this is why, like, you know what I mean? It should be like, just who
Yeah.
gives a fuck, like, you know what I mean? Just let them have at it.
hang them out to dry.
It's just-
Oh,
Right, one more question for this episode. We've got Kunster said, if Hibs don't get rid of the stupid door bits under the big screens and upgrade that to make the screens look better, should the stadium volunteers take matters into their own hands today and tear it all down and put something more fitting to enhance those magnificent screens?
What's wrong with the doors underneath?
Okay.
And what would you do?
Has he now moved on to trolling Hibs fans? Has he give up with the Hearts fans? Like, has he beat now? Is that done? Just come on and just fucking.
It's completed the set with
What would you, if you were to replace the doors, or because I'm not for just taking them out and leaving a big empty gap. Like, what would you replace it with?
Another screen.
Aye,
big-
make the screen bigger.
But they know for it. They're for entrance and exit though. They'll be like.
Aye, like you have to be able to get an ambulance in and stuff like that. I think. That I'm not sure if that's maybe the other side, but that was one of the rules. But yeah, you can exit. So when I did, I sound like a dick here. When I did the Hibs TV on Sunday, you went in.
Oh, listen
did
to
you?
that, fuck.
Are you alright, were you?
fucking right.
Is that you?
Kept that quiet.
You had to. You had
You
the
absolute cad.
wee door under the one at the south stand. So it is. There are a practical use for the wee doors.
But you could get out anywhere though. Like the ambulance could come in where on the other side, on the west stand side,
But
because that's where.
aye, but I think if that's open, there's team buses and that there. In fact, I think that's where the ambulance sits. I've used that as an example, but it's a shit example. They would need to have somewhere to wheel away the goals. That go, you know, the warm-up goals.
Aye.
They go
Right.
down one of those
They go
doors,
through them, and you want.
and the players park the car behind the east and come in
Aye.
the other
Is that
side.
what the players' car park is? Who parks in the west stand car park now? You're sort of like part of the gang, like because there's a few nice motors in there on
Aye,
Saturday.
I had to park in the wee industrial estate behind the Dunbar end.
Did you?
I did
That's
have
where
a
you normally
space.
park anyway.
I did get a space there, but
You normally fucking park there anyway, so it wasn't anything special, eh? That's
Well,
what-
I don't have to go in the street. This was an actual car park.
and,
Did you get?
and
Did,
ironically,
did
the
they
time
give you a
were done-
pass? Did they give you a pass of that for the day? Or?
Aye.
Ah, shite. I was going to say if you could like a photocopied it or whatever and like extended the dates on it so you could just park there all the fucking time.
They came and collected it at the end. Could go purple zones, wherever those were. I was able to go purple zone.
What kind of car does Lovell and Gordon Smart drive?
Level cycled.
Did he?
Aye. And Gordon Smart was away to get the train.
Oh.
Aye. So there you go.
Oh well, bit dull, eh?
Hibs TV obviously doesn't pay.
They never even had a drink of water. You'd expect that, eh? But there you go. I need to like I should submit a rider. Right, we're just going to carry on with a couple of questions left. Right, William says, are the big screens a bit shit?
No.
I didn't think
No.
so. I
I want to see
talked about
Fairy
it.
Liquid adverts on that big screen.
What was that, Brian?
I want to see Fairy Liquid adverts on the big screen.
Aye, so that. I really like the screens. I thought they were much. I thought they were going to be a bit. I thought they were going to be a total anticlimax because they were hyped up, and someone was like, actually, it's fucking pretty good. Like,
Aye. Surprised anybody's saying that. I've only seen one or two comments about that on the message boards and that. But it was the ones I read were already like they'd already kind of said before the event that why we're spending that money, we should be buying a better player. And because we never won, that gave them the if we hadn't basically undertones were if we hadn't spent the money on the screens, we would have beat St Mirren on Saturday.
Aye, or would have got another striker. Like, but it's the same people though that complained when Ron came in and he says that he was going to buy these screens and says he was going to invest and all that he wasn't actually going to do it. And there's people that follow Hibs. I say support because I've never heard or seen them fucking support the team. All they do is drip and moan about it. Like, you know what I mean? Just fucking get on with it. Like, you know what I mean? And anything that betters the club, whether it be through financial gain for advertisement or all that, or whether it's on the park or whatever, it's fucking good in my eyes. Like, you know what I mean? He's making good his word. Let's just move on.
Yep. Charlie B says, when did council tax become a thing?
After the poll tax, after the riots. What was that? 1990-ish, 89, 1991, something like that. So it must have been. I'm going to guess. You got the answer there? What, 92 maybe? Council tax.
Well, you said 92.
Well, the poll tax was about 90. Well, we got it first, about 90, didn't we? And then England got it the year after. So I'm thinking it would be. When is it?
1993.
Ah, you bastard. Year it.
Aye. I say you say wrong. Wrong.
Aye. What was the tolerance on the question? I never heard of the
tolerance.
tolerance.
Said the question to the specific year when did council tax become a thing. It's completely wrong. That's what the question says.
Is he just? Is that Charlie? Is that Charlie for strong opinion?
Aye.
Hibs? Is he having to start paying council tax and he's just realised like, God, is it? No context to the question.
That Charlie text the question in the 80295 as well, mate. Right, Andy says, which Hibs player would be the best on the bake-off and why? He's already tweeted Joe Baker, by the way.
Yeah, bastard, has he?
Can I have Joe Baker?
So Yarko Whisk.
Aye, decent. You see Craig thinking here. Craig, what's good for your head?
Just away. He's off my
Fucked off.
He's like, fucking
like, fuck this. These questions are fucking fuck, Joe Baker was just on the tip of my tongue when you said that there. Took it out my fucking.
Still like to top Yarko Whisk. That's quality.
Whisk. Yeah.
The thing is, I've actually peeked at that. I cannot think of anything else.
I can't even get anything to do with bacon right now. I can't.
Nah.
All right. Ron Bergen says, how many roundabouts are in Livingston, Bathgate and Dunfermline put together?
I said 15 for a while.
15. The design, the way that the design came to be infinity sign, that was based on the number. Somebody got fed up counting and they're like, fuck, how would we get a number as big as this? And they symbolised it with almost like two roundabouts together based on the number of roundabouts in Livingston, Bathgate and Dunfermline. It's fucking loads.
You could have actually said Doe Baker.
I knew you were still thinking of one. I could see these.
Double whammy. That's me for the rest of the night now.
Doe Baker.
Doe Baker.
Ron Bergen again, what's John's lowest round in golf? I didn't even came up with a good score in golf is. 18.
Just 18 holes in one.
18 holes, so we'll say he's really good. And this is Darren McGregor the best market employee for modelling kits? Could stick a bin bag on the guy and he'd pull it off. I don't know if he meant to pull it off, but it could be amusing or no. But did you see the new strip, the third kit? What do you think?
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the yellow. I didn't mind it, but
I don't think I've ever liked any other yellow strips in the past.
The yellow with the green is quite nice. Yeah, I like it. I like the idea of having the song lyrics through. So actually, the next question's for Susie 47062. What other songs would you like to see on a Hibs shirt?
NWA, fuck the police.
Booked for being ugly would be a good gin to have it.
Yep.
Robbo, where's your wife? That was one for
Henry.
What
What about 21 seconds to go? What about that? Mind that song? 21 seconds to go.
Aye.
Just for the countdown for when we're going to lose our inevitable late goal that we were talking about the other night.
Aye. What was who was it? The song that it was called. I can't remember the name of the band. That
Crash Test Dummies.
Crash Test Dummies. Aye.
that's who was that one?
A terrible song, yeah. You ever hear it? You ever listen to Absolute Radio 90s?
Now and again.
Comes on and you go, fucking hell, how is this still getting played 30 years on?
There's a song by the Super Furry Animals called "The Man Don't Give a Fuck." That would be good to have on a t-shirt. Right, Connor says, if Hibs were to win the league this season, would it top May the 21st, 2016?
Nah.
Well, it would, in terms of achievement, but
yeah,
I think winning the league, like, this is going to sound a bit mental, but it's a bit more an anticlimax because you kind of can see it's going to happen.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Unless it was like Helicopter Sunday, do you know, when it shifts through or like when Man City won it, do you know, with Aguero scoring.
Yeah.
If we were lucky enough to win the league like that, you'd probably say, aye, that topped it. But it would have to be in those circumstances because I don't care how you would top that game. That was like
my wife. No, my Wi-Fi cut out there, mate. So I don't know. I heard you saying Aguero, so that's obvious that one. But did you mention when Celtic won 5-0 on the last day?
Oh no, that's probably like another one.
That would be another one.
Because you're looking at another team, even just needing a point, and they're only playing fucking Dundee. So you've got St Mirren. You need a high turnaround on the goals. So that probably be quite a major one as well. Imagine how gutted you'd be to lose the league that day.
Especially to find out when somebody has to come into the dressing room and tell you when you're in a cubicle. Getting relentless.
He didn't even go up. He didn't even go up that day. That's how shit scared he was.
Yeah.
I didn't even think he got over the Forth Road Bridge.
No.
Oh, did he not? I thought he was actually in a Dens Park toilet.
Nah, he phoned in sick altogether. Like, didn't even get on the bus.
Physically phoned in sick and chat himself somewhere else. TG Willis says, can you still buy new cars that still have roll up and down windows? I think if you still get it, do you? Like manual windows?
So when it's a few years ago now, can you hear me? Because my Wi-Fi is a bit funny here. Aye. When we went and looked for another car a few years ago, and we were just trying to get a cheap one for my wife to run about in, and the low spec, like the cheap, like, you know, your wee cars, like your Toyota Aegos and all the wee cars, Ford Kas and all that kind of stuff. The lowest spec of them, you generally do, or you did 4 or 5 years ago, get wind up windows. But as soon as you go up to the first model above that, you start getting electrics in the front, but wind ups in the back.
Aye.
I don't know how much that's moved in the last 4 or 5 years.
Also, TG Willis, why are Harris and Lewis called islands when they're clearly joined to each other? Okay, I wonder if there's an actual practical answer to that one.
But is Scotland classed as an island?
No.
No.
No, because we're attached to the UK.
Aye.
Right, that's fine then.
Actually, Harris said the expression "no man is an island," so probably neither of them should be counted as it. Alistair Taylor said, is there any household chore that's worse than emptying the dishwasher?
Oh, fucking loads. It's an easy one, emptying the dishwasher. Cleaning the bathroom.
Putting your clothing away. Washing it's fine. Hanging it out's all right. It's the putting it away.
Taking it off the air. I'd like hanging it up or taking it off the air. That's probably the most annoying one for me.
the most, well, on that, I didn't mind washing it and hanging it out, or even bringing it in. It's when you bring it in, it's still wet, and you need to hang it on the fucking clay source as well,
Yes.
because you think I'm double fucking work here. I've already hung it out, and now I'm hanging it out again, or hanging it up again.
Yeah, when you're taking it off the clothes horse or outside on your whirly gig, the washing line, it feels fine. It's not until you're going through that, when you're in the house ready to put it away and you go, hold on a minute, that collar's still fucking wet. Then it's, oh, fuck. Now I need to hang 3 loads of washing on 6 radiators. Fuck off.
And then you have to understand that you've also been tricked by clothes. Niall Kerry said, here's a question for you. Why don't you cunts think of your own fucking topics and leave us alone?
Aye, we've considered that before, have we? We're like, fuck this. That's extra work.
I would do it. Like, I saw that question. I thought, see if we did it, right? And extending the QI for idiots thing, right? And if we were ever really fucking short of questions for folks sending them in, you could look at proper philosophical questions and have us try to fucking answer them.
I'd like that.
Aye, I would like it as well. We might start maybe for next week, just chucking one in.
I am due another meaning of life rant, I think.
Aye. My wee sister's a doctor of philosophy, so if I attempted to do it on this of all fucking places, I can only imagine the levels of rage that would fucking induce. And kind of like when somebody would try to disassociate themselves from another family member, I think that would happen because, well, aye, you can imagine us talking fucking
This
philosophy.
is something like once you've answered 10, you can kind of just say you're a doctor in it as well.
How many questions do you need to answer before you can be considered a doctor?
Oh, that's a good question.
And Bud.
Parmaham 2 says, here's a question based on the OP. What has more nuts, a topic or a star bar?
I've never ate either.
You never had a topic or a star bar? Kevin was the thing for deep fried Mars bars when they first came out. I had a deep fried topic. I had never tried the Mars bar one. I had a deep fried topic. It was good.
I've only ever tried a bite of that. Mind, did you go and do the one in Northfield?
Aye, that's
one
right.
night? Aye. I would have said Star Bar to that answer the question.
Eh?
I would have said Star Bar to answer that question.
Aye.
But I don't know if it's
This
right.
is more than both, I think. Anyway, right, is it a double bill of Tom Fairney and these guys for the live pods? It's a wee thing of Bell and Sebastian there. No, we can't tell you who the special guests are for that one. And Aldo, last question, right? Says, what's your go-to chippy order?
Is Brian having a think? I can't see either of these now. I've lost pictures here. So apologies on butting in on that because I can't see what's going on.
No, you're not.
I've kind of went off chippies. Like I've had the last 2 I had that they were shite. So I'm just thinking I'm trying not to have any chippies anymore. But what it used to be was like a jumbo sausage supper. Came batter. Just batter jumbo. I actually tried a haggis no long after one of the podcasts. When did we speak about spicy haggis?
Oh, I can't remember.
A few weeks ago, me, you and John were on it, and it was one of the weeks when we were talking about kebab pies and we were going to spicy haggis. And I went and got one like the week after that, and it was fucking crap.
Was it?
Aye, it was greasy. I had a sore stomach an hour after. You know what I mean? It was just like, so I've just it's just kind of put me off. So but jumbo sausage was the answer.
What were you, Brian?
Probably doner kebab with lashings of garlic meal and peri peri chips. That's the current favourite.
Decent. There's like a sort of gourmet chippy over for us and Dullock, and they do salt and pepper chips and fancy fish as well. Fucking nice, like. But I would go a fish supper would be my go-to. Maybe a pizza supper, like a pizza supper as well, but that's fucking greasy as anything.
Yeah, beautiful though.
Nice, so aye.
What do you mean by fancy fish?
Comes with a wee skirt and that. Lipstick.
Dressed.
Aye. They do like grilled sea bass and stuff like that. It comes with kind of wee tartar sauce and coleslaw and stuff, which is nice. Anyway, right, that's all the questions. We're back with Quick Bang tomorrow after the Dundee United game. There's still tickets available for the live show, but only a couple. So if you want to come, you better get in quick. Other than that, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink water, no.